I would like to thank you all again for joining us on the call tonight, and I'd like to introduce to you Betty Walker, also known as the Wise Web Lady at thewiseweblady.com. Her company is Cyber Company Solutions, a website design and marketing company which has operated since 2001. So she's been working on the web for a while now, and her specialty is helping business owners effectively creatively market their businesses on the web. You might remember hearing about Betty previously when I did an interview for her Soft Sell Your Way to Success audio series, where we discussed effectively soft selling techniques that I have used to become successful in my business. And with that, Betty, thanks again for agreeing to teach us tonight.
Oh, you bet. Thank you, really, for having me. This is really great, and I appreciate everybody taking some time out tonight and sharing some of this information. So hopefully we'll be going through and you'll be learning some new things and having some new understanding of Facebook fan pages. When Willie had sent out the invitations, you should have been able to also receive some free fan page iframe templates that were available. The link for that I have here on the screen that you're showing. If anybody didn't get a chance to get that, you can either write down that link or we can go ahead and email that to you after the fact too. So actually some of the fan pages that we're going to be looking at tonight, I actually use that same templates, and you'll see that they are two templates when you actually get that and look at those. It's the same ones that I use for two fan pages that I have on my account, and it's also the same one that I used when we built one for Willie. So you'll actually see the same ones, and you'll be getting all of the same information that's in that. You'll be able to actually go through and build the same thing that we did here with those. So that's something that that is available for everybody. So if you didn't get it, just go ahead and let us know. That would be great. Trying to get my screen to go here. There.
Okay, yeah, and I've had slides moving slow too at times.
Yeah, things sometimes they do that. They kind of lag a little bit behind when we kind of go through this. So a little bit just to kind of give you an idea of what it is that we're going to go over today. There's many different parts to Facebook that they have, and we're really going to concentrate on the basics of what you would use Facebook for your business for. You know, there are personal pages that are out there when we very first sign up for. There are fan pages that are specifically for your business that Facebook makes available so that you can have separate areas for your personal conversations and for your business. There's different groups and events that you can set up, and then there's also Facebook ads. So it's really almost like its own mini internet within the internet. It's a huge community that's out there, and they really offer quite a bit of services and many different ways that small businesses can really target down on audiences for what you might be looking for and really get more of a focused group. And it's really something that is very inexpensive and something that is definitely something worth for all small businesses really to look at. Like I said, what we'll focus on here is really looking at the business goals basics. One thing that I know sometimes can be fairly easy to happen is that we can very easily get distracted and really kind of lose our way when we're online. So I'll talk a little bit about a few tips that I have that have kind of helped me stay a little bit more centered and a little more focused when I'm online, and pass that on to my clients as well. So I'll share a few of those here as we go, and then we'll actually go through and we'll create a very simple basic fan page online so that you can see how simple it is to actually create a fan page off of your personal pages. And then what we'll really dive into is we'll look at customized purpose-driven fan pages. We'll really look at the idea of how you can really separate yourself out. You can emphasize your brand when you're out there in Facebook community, and you can really make yourself stand out from others that are on there, and show you different ways that your fan page can be set up to actually entice users to like your fan page or become fans of yours, and then also use it as a great business strategy to be able to capture leads and have more people opt into your mailing list.
Excellent.
So it's really a great way to kind of do that. I know, you know, Willie, you're a really big fan of Facebook. I know that there's a lot that you're really using it for.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people come on Facebook and they know they should be using it to build their business, but they are mostly just being social because they have no real idea of how to use it to extend their brand and make it look like, you know, other parts of their business. And so it's just, actually they feel like they're wasting time being on Facebook because they don't know how to leverage it.
Sure, and that happens. I mean, with a lot of social media, certainly Facebook is a very large part of that. You know it's a good tool. You know there's a lot of things out there, but it's so easy to get distracted. There's just so much that you can get pulled in different directions. So if you can really focus and really understand, keeping it purpose-driven for your business, you can really, kind of make it a time saver and make sure that what you're doing is as efficient as possible when you're out there, and that you're actually getting business benefits out of it, not just really spending a lot of time online.
Right.
So we'll go through a little bit about, really why Facebook. I know we've kind of touched a little bit on this, and really you're probably even a little bit more up to date than I am on some of this. I know that there's over 500 million active users that are on Facebook. In fact, I've even heard that they may even be closer to over 600 million now.
I've seen a figure that was over 600 million. I don't know how accurate it was. So it wasn't provided by Facebook. It was by a different research organization. But it's huge. It's they surpassed Google a long time ago as far as active users that are really spending time there.
It is really something. It's just it's a very focused group, and it's a community. And people really do, they go out there and they visit it quite a bit. I mean, they're extremely active. I know that on Facebook they had said that at any given time, half of their users are actively on every day. Even if we use the smaller amount of the 500 million, that's over 250 million people that are always on Facebook every day. I mean, that's just huge. They're, considering really any business, there's really a target there that nearly any kind of business or any type of a target audience you could be looking for at any one time is on there. So it's really something that is just, especially for a small business, it's a great way really for you to be able to really compete with some of the bigger companies. And they have Facebook ads, they have different things that are out there that are really very reasonable, and they're very inexpensive to get started into. And a lot of the things that you can do with Facebook are even free. So it's definitely something that any business owner really should seriously consider. And I did get off of there where they have that the average user has over 130 friends at any one time, which really, if you contact one person and that one person becomes your friend or they become a fan of you on your fan page, anytime they make a comment or anything that they do, their 130 friends or however many it is that they happen to have are always being notified of either what they're doing or who they're liking or that kind of a thing. So you're really extending the leverage that you have with it is really tremendous when you start thinking about it. And interesting statistic on this where Facebook had said that people spend 700 billion minutes per month on Facebook. I mean, that's just an astronomical amount that I can't even put my head around to even imagine that. The great thing for it as far as being a business is that it's a very active community. That people go back there nearly on a daily basis, and they're always staying active either with their friends or whatever associations that they happen to belong to or companies that they're following. So it's a great place to have some type of Facebook presence so that you can really have your business out there and people can really see you and get to know you and spread their word around to their friends. It's also an indication that a lot of people spend a lot of time online. So when we hit on the focusing part a little bit, there'll be a few tips and tricks there as far as, maybe not staying online too long or maybe making sure that when you are online, what you're doing is really something that's being efficient for you. So we can kind of jump right into it. Really the basics of Facebook, what most people really do understand is that when you very first set up an account in Facebook, what you're setting up is your personal account. That's the very first step that everybody has to do. Even if you just want to set it up for your business, you have to have a personal sign up and have your personal account in Facebook. And then when you build your fan pages, you build those fan pages off of your personal account. There is a limit on that in Facebook. They limit that to 5,000 maximum friends, and really I think that's something that you've actually came along maybe even a couple of years ago. You said that you actually had exceeded that limit.
Yes, I hit over 5,000 2 years ago, and that's part of what pushed me to develop a fan page. I was told that after you hit the limit, the only way to get more friends, more followers, was to suggest that they like your fan page and start frequenting it. So that's what got me interested in it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, with fan pages, actually, you can have unlimited fans, which, I think it's a great move on Facebook's part. They realize that, you don't want to limit the business as far as for how many people would really want to be fans of them and follow them. So you can, it's a great way to be able to extend that. You can actually separate it down. You can have multiple fan pages where you can have maybe one for your business, or you can have one for each of your certain product lines. So there's really multiple things that you can do, and you can really extend your reach and have a chance to have a lot more people really get to know you and become fans, and then you can go ahead and stay in touch with them. It really becomes your main hub for Facebook for what you have. You could customize those fan pages. You may have heard talk back in March time that there were some changes that Facebook had made. They had their own proprietary language called FDML, which was the Facebook markup language.
Right.
And what that was just a way of creating the fan pages. And then what they did in March is that they decided to standardize that across the industry and use something that's more common to other web pages, which is called iframing, which was really actually a great step because it will let you create closer to regular web pages for your fan page. So it really gives you a lot more versatility, and it gives you a lot more people who could really help you create the pages because they're more standard and they're not as limited, so that you can really work with that, which really makes it exciting. And something that I use it for also is that when I create the fan pages, if it's something that an end user or a client is going to want to be changing, you can actually set them up in WordPress and pull them in as an iframe over there. So there's really a lot more flexibility to it. So there's really a lot more that can be done with it, and it makes it easier when we really want to try and extend out our generating leads and pulling in more people, where we can set up regular opt-ins and sign-ups and really have things that are branded very similar to to what we already have on our existing web pages.
Yeah, I did feel very limited under the old architecture. Like, couldn't really do a lot of things I wanted to do with my fan page.
Yeah, it's really great. They really did open it up, and it really gives it a lot more. Once you're over in Facebook and you have different things set up, you can create groups, for your business, or even within your personal, you can do the same thing, but you can set up different events. There's many different applications that Facebook allows you to add to it. So there's really a lot of flexibility, and there's a lot of things that you can really get creative with and grow a lot more ways within Facebook, rather than just thinking that it's just something where you're really just having chat sessions. You can really have interactivity going on and keeping people posted of events and different things that you have going on with product launches, or maybe with different open houses, or different things that you have that are running on there. And another great thing is that once you do have things set up, especially within the fan pages, you can run Facebook ads that can point either directly to your fan page, or even out from there. You can point it to your main website, or to your blog, or to the thing about the Facebook ads is that not only are they very inexpensive, it's much less expensive than if you were to go over to, say, Google AdWords and try and put different things on there for really what's called like pay per click, where people can actually click on your ad, and then you'd pay so much per click every time someone does that. It's a very similar idea with the Facebook ads, except it's extremely inexpensive. It's really something that a small business can get into without really a large amount of marketing budget for that.
Yeah, I think Facebook lets you do better targeting, though, in that they know a lot more of the demographics of the people. They know the ages and the sex and where they're from and all those things, because the platform's designed to collect all that data.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point, Willie. Definitely, because it is a community. Everyone is actually logged into that community, so they have a lot of demographic information. They have a lot of psychographic information. Really, they have a lot that they can really learn about, that you can really target very focused down to the type of people you might be looking for. You might be looking maybe for females between a certain age that maybe have a certain interest in golf and maybe live in a certain maybe northwest part of Florida or something like that. You can really focus very, very much down on that. So if you happen to be a local business that's maybe, a brick and mortar store, or if you're a dentist or an accountant, you can focus down right to your local area. Or you can focus down, to the type of people that might be, looking for the types of things that you have. So it really is. So not only is it even, less expensive than trying to do something in the search engines, you're actually getting a lot better results out of it, because you can really focus down on that much better.
Yeah, and you mentioned also groups. I treat groups almost like another mailing list on Facebook. So I do have groups that are for different purposes, and since you're allowed to like direct message all of the people in the group, that's sort of pretty powerful too.
Yeah, you can. It's almost like its own little separate discussion area. You can set up different things for it. So there's really a lot of things, and there's people building applications that can be added to your pages and added to your personal pages and your fan pages all the time. So there's just a lot of different functionality that there's just so many things you can add to it. So it's definitely an area that I would really just recommend that any small business really seriously think about, looking at and trying to get set up over there. The one thing that I know, and you mentioned this earlier when we were talking, is that because you are a small business, sometimes there's only, one person or maybe just a few people that are involved in the business. It's really hard sometimes when you start thinking about social media and you start thinking about Facebook. You start trying to get out there and you start looking through it, and all of a sudden you start getting people that are friends and they're here, and you get all this discussion going on. And it's very easy to get distracted and to know that there's a lot out there and to kind of get overwhelmed with everything that there is. And it's just one of those things that, if what we're looking for is really just to be entertained and go out there and to go through it, there's a lot of neat and nifty things that you can go through, that's for sure. But certainly if we're doing it for our business, any of us, I'm sure we just don't have that much extra time to be able to do it. And it's so easy. I know I've done it, Willie. I'm sure you've probably done it too, that all of a sudden you look, you have no idea where the time went, and you've been, looking and reading and going through on conversations and seeing everything that's going on. So it's so easy to do. It's something that we've all kind of fell a little bit off the beaten trail when we've been out there with it. So we really do need to stay. So we need to remember we're doing this for business reasons, and that's something that that I would really stress to you, that you go through that and really think about it. Really what is the reason? What is the business goal that you're using Facebook for? You can certainly use it to communicate personally, and you can go through and use it for that kind of a thing. But if you're going to use it for your business, I would really ask you just to really sit and think, really, what is the business goal? What is the reason that you're looking to use Facebook? And pretty much what it boils down to for anybody that's in a business is really what you're looking for is more leads, more clients, and more sales. We fall somewhere in there, whether we're looking for someone to sign up and opt into our list, or we're looking for, some leads that we might give a call and, drum up some more business with some new clients. Or possibly even make sales right online, or advertise a new special that we have with a product where we can put that on that specific product's fan page and actually get it out to the people that are on Facebook that are already friends of ours. So that's really the biggest thing that I can really recommend to you. And I know that it's something that I really have to discipline myself, and I have to make myself do it. I'm on the internet nearly all day, because that's pretty much what I do. And I know, Willie, that I know that you're on there a lot, because there's always a lot of activity that you have going on. But really, for me, the one thing, and I actually have a little sticky note that I keep next to my computer, because it's something that's so easy for me to do. And I really try to remind myself, why am I doing this? Why am I on this page? Why am I on the internet? And what is it that I'm working on? And is it really taking me closer to what my business goals are for at the time that I'm trying to, spend this time for?
Right.
So that's something that I would really, recommend to you. If you want to write it down, if you want to put it on a note, just to remind yourself. If that's, if you're easily distracted, which the internet is something that just has a way of doing that for a lot of us. I would just strongly recommend to you, don't get too sucked in. Look at it more focused and more distinctly for what it is that you're looking to use it for. Does that make sense, Willie? Is that something?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Come across with a lot of people?
It is, and the one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of people forget that the rest of the world is watching them, so they do and say things that they wouldn't say if they were just sitting around in a brick and mortar store. They don't treat it like they are in an environment where potential customers and clients are listening to them or watching them. So I would caution them there too.
Yeah, we think we have a little bit of anonymity, I think, when we're sitting behind our keyboards and being out there and doing that. But, gosh, they've even used it for people, when they're looking for jobs. and actually go out there and look at their Facebook profiles and, you know, try and get an idea of what kind of people they are. And your clients are going to do the same thing. You know, they're going to look and they're going to see the type of comments you make and, you know, the types of things that you put out there in the post on Facebook. So yeah, that's a great suggestion. Really, it's just you know, you just kind of have to watch because really it's extremely transparent, and it's easy for us to forget that.
Yeah, there are a lot of companies that begin their search for employees by doing hiring someone to research on social media what they're like. And I mean, and they spend quite a big budget investigating a person on Twitter and Facebook and all those sites to see what's out there. And it makes sense because, you know, you don't want to get stuck with an employee and then find out later that the person, you know, is a psychopath or something.
Sure, yeah, and you know, and references the same way if they're looking to hire, you know, hire a certain business for something that they might need. And that's the thing online, you know, things never go away.
Right.
They always have a way of turning up. There's always, you know, old, you know, they have that, you know, the Wayback Machine and different things. There's always old copies of everything that might be out there. So, yeah, it definitely is. It's something you sort of really do have to think twice about. That is for sure. Well, some of what I'm going to do a little bit here, we'll shift gears a little bit. I'm actually going to go out to the internet, and we'll look a little bit at Facebook fan page, and we'll actually walk through it. I'll show you how we can actually create one.
And as you're doing that, one of the listeners was actually asking, they'd heard that you could have a business page or a personal page, but not both, and they wanted to know if that's correct. I don't think they limit you to how many Facebook profiles you can have, really, do they?
Well, no, they don't now. But as far as a Facebook profile actually would be for your personal page, you have to have a personal account. You have to have a personal login first.
Right. Okay.
And then off of your personal login, you could create multiple fan pages, which really would be able to let you set up. You know, you could have multiple ones. You could have one for your business. You could have one for a product and service. You can have one for a certain, you know, organization or group that that you might want to belong to, or, you know, have a certain page set up just for that. So it's really not one or the other. You have your personal page, and then you build your business pages off of that.
Okay, so you should probably just have one account, and then off of that account you have personal and business pages.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because your personal account actually becomes the admin, the one that actually lets you. You know, administer and maintain the business ones.
Okay.
So they are connected in that way, but yeah. So you would only have the one login. That is true.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So this is my, you know, Facebook. You know, you'll see on here. This is my personal one. You know, this is where, you know, you see a lot of the standard chatting and information that'll go on with your personal Facebook page, but most people have something, or at least are a little bit familiar with this kind of thing. You know, you can set up notes, you can add photos, that kind of thing. But what you can do off of here also is that once you're logged into your personal account, you can actually create your own fan page. So once you're logged in, you just go up to the browser window, and if you can't see it, really what I'm doing here is you just have the facebook.com.
Okay, I can't see it.
Pages. Yeah, it's probably small, so it's kind of, so it's facebook.com/pages. And what that'll do is take you to the main area for Facebook fan pages. So you'll see this is just the most common ones that really show up here on the front. Up here on the right-hand side, you'll see here where it says Create Page. You're going to want to click on that button. And then what Facebook starts you out with is some basic templates. They just ask you what kind of a business it is that you're wanting to set this fan page up for, whether it's a local business or place, which is this one here, or whether it's a company organization, or you'll see here where they actually have a setup where you can do a certain brand or a certain product. So what that lets you do is set up multiple fan pages where you can set up a separate fan page for each of your products or maybe each of your services, so that you can highlight that and you can actually target a little bit more on the people who are going to become fans of that. They have separate ones for artists and bands, entertainment, and then cause or community and some type of an organization. These are basic templates that they start out with. You can pick the one that is actually closest, but once you actually create your fan page, you can go back and you can change what type that it is. And what it gives you is a few different fields, depending on what it is. If you happen to pick local business or place, it'll give you more fields. It'll give you a spot where you can have a hookup for a Google map, and you can have directions and different things that would have to do with if you're more of a local business. If it's a company, there'll be different things for the website that'll come up, and then again for the brand, the same type of thing. So that they just give you different fields, so you don't really have to concentrate too much when you first set it up. You can pick the one that you think is closest, and if you change your mind afterwards, you can always go in and edit your page that you've created and change that.
Okay.
So I'll show you a little bit of that when we get into it a little bit here, so it'll make a little bit more sense. But for this one, for the test, I'm just going to pick the company one. They have certain categories that they set up. So if you want to pick the category that most closely matches your business, in my case, I'll go through and I'm going to pick consulting and business services at the moment for mine. And then the company name would be whatever the name is that you would want to call the page. And just for this at my time, I'm just going to call it Wise Web Lady Test 5, just to have a separate name out there. But you would put whatever the name, like your company name here or your product name. And you want to agree to the Facebook terms. If you click on the Get Started button, and then just that simple, we've created a fan page. This is the basic fan page that you start out with, and you'll notice it looks very similar to your regular personal account.
Right.
It gives you a chance to be able to put a different image over here, which you can put maybe a company logo, or you could put your product image over here. This starts you out with just a basic layout where this would show you where you could add an image and a few different things. What we could do, and I'll just show you real quick, we'll divert a little bit, but if I go up here, there's an Edit Page button. I'm going to click on that, and when we go up to, when we pick Basic Information, that's the third one down,
okay,
you'll see the categories here. These are the same, actually there's even more when you look at it here, but these are the different layouts that you'll see. I happen to pick company when we did it, which happens to be the category that's showing. If I pick local businesses, watch what happens. Did you see it change down here?
Yes.
Let me do that again so that we can catch that. If you look at, if I select a company, you'll see I have different fields to fill in. The year that maybe the company was founded and the address and maybe about. I have the mission, products on here. If I change this to be a local business, watch what it does. Did you see that? Now what we get are a few different kinds of fields. It actually gives me the hours that I'm open that I can put in here. So there's different fields that that Facebook has set up as the standard fields depending on which of the fan page templates that you pick for your layout.
Okay.
So that's something that you might want to kind of look at. And then there even further you can kind of segregate the type of category over here. But that's kind of the interesting thing. If we select movies, you'll see certain things change. So it's really easy to go through and change that, and we don't have to spend too much on that. But I just wanted to show you that you don't really have to agonize over what type you pick. What it changes is the kinds of fields that you can fill in. So you can get a chance to kind of play a little bit with that.
Okay.
Go back over and view the page. So when you look at this, you'll see, so it's really that easy to set up a fan page. There's really not that much to it. It's certainly something that anybody can go out there and do. But you'll notice with this that the page looks extremely similar to what your personal one does. There really isn't much that makes it stand out so that someone would really look at this and say, wow, this is a business I really want to learn more about. You'll see that there's a like button up here, which is the similar type of thing when you ask someone to be your friend. Really what the like button is that you're saying, I like this company, I want to be a fan of theirs, so I want to follow them. So any information that they would post on here, I want to get notified for. So that's what the like button is that's up here. Like I said, you could put your logo up here, which would make it look a little bit different. You would have some different information over here. But it really doesn't, if we would go ahead and like that, you'll see it doesn't really change too much. It just shows you that that over here now that we have one person that likes this page, so that we can see how popular it is.
Okay.
But it looks pretty plain. There really isn't much that's there. So I'm going to show you a few on how we can actually customize these. And the two that I'm going to show you first are the ones that I've set up for myself. One of them actually advertises the free iframe templates. Now you'll notice something here that happened, that when we very first visit this, you can see that there's something behind here, but it's actually blurred out. And I'm actually asking you to go ahead and click the like button so that you can sign up so that you can get the free fan pages. I have the same thing set up on a sign-up page where we go, but I also have it here set up so that you can go ahead and download the same free templates that are here. So once I click on this like button and I become a fan of this page, then what you'll see is that I'm actually able to see the entire page that's here now. And I can see the sign-up form that comes up in here. And I can actually get the free iframes, and I can even click on this video that I have that runs through here. And I'll stop that so we're not having too much sound going on.
So is that what's called the reveal page?
On YouTube.
That is the reveal template, right?
Yep, that's what's called a reveal. Right. So really, what it is, it's called a reveal page because you can't really reveal what's behind it until you click on the like. So you have that little graphic that pops up that actually. So that's really something. It can be very powerful. It's a great way to get people to become fans of your page, because when they get there, then they're a little curious to see what the information is that's behind that. So they'll click the like button, and then they can go through and they can work on that. I actually have two tabs that are out here on the same fan page. This one is for some free Facebook reports that I have. So it's a little bit different layout, but it's very similar. The free templates that you have the link for actually are these two. You'll see this one where you have the sign up, and then the other one that we looked at has the spot for the video and then also for an opt-in sign up. So what you receive in that is the exact same ones that are here. Now what I'll show you is a page that I created for Willie is using the same templates as the ones that I used for myself. And it's also the same ones that are included in your package. What's different here is that we've modified the graphics and the layout to match Willie's own branding so that everything looks very consistent and very much the same. So you'll see that there's information back here that you can't see yet until you actually like the page. So when we like the page and become a fan of Willie, then we can see all the information that's on the back there as it loads here on Facebook. And we can see that the sign-up that is here, so that what we can do is we can sign up on his opt-in mailing also, so that when Willie has information that he puts on Facebook, we're going to see it here on his fan page. We're also going to be able to see other information that he will have on his mailing lists, which he would have different information. So this is a great way really to be able to keep in touch with him and to get all of his great internet marketing tips.
And I like the fact that it gives me the same look and feel across the internet, because that is my regular website graphic up there. So no matter what site people see me on, they recognize what has effectively become my logo, and so it is branding.
Yeah, the branding is so important, and when we're a small business, that just becomes so much more so, because we really want to be able to keep that consistency as much as we can. And that's the great thing about customizing these fan pages, is we can really make them have a small business really stand out, so that there's really something that really makes them look a lot different, so that when people come here, you really give them some great information, so that you can go ahead and you can do that. I have one more that I can show you here, just real quick, and it's also another one that was made from those same free templates. And actually, all of the source files are included with those templates too, as far as the Photoshop files, so that you have the same basics that we started out with. Again, this is a similar type of a layout. This is a company that does mobile marketing, and they have a free ebook that they would like to give away on the opt-in. So when we click on the like button, then we can see the full form come up. We can see who it is. This is a company that's based in New Jersey. And we can go ahead and opt in to get their free mobile marketing ebook. And each one of these, you'll see, obviously, the pages look different because we've actually branded things to look the same as the websites that go with each of these companies. Mine's different from Willie's. This one is different from that. But it uses the same basic template layout that you can go ahead and modify the graphics and go ahead and put up a customized fan page that we have that comes up on here. Does that make sense, Willie?
It does. And so did you created custom graphics that then fit within the template itself?
That's right. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. You'll see because really we're kind of limited to about 500 pixels across when you're within the Facebook page. Really, what this does, this is a page that was actually created over on Willie's website, and then it's called an iframe because what it does is that Facebook actually frames this in here, so that all of Facebook runs around it, and then his customized website page can run right in the middle as his fan page. So that sits in there, and then of course we can do different graphics on here, and as Willie will will actually be quickly growing here with a number of people that are getting over here to his custom fan page, and now he'll be able to get past that 5,000 limit, and you'll be able to have pretty much unlimited people that can go ahead and follow you. So it's a great way really to grow your mailing list.
Yeah, I asked you earlier about having my fan page show on as my primary page or my main page, and it really has to be a tab off to the side or something, doesn't it?
As far as your personal account, you can't have it be the first thing that people see on the personal account.
Okay.
But what it will do, if you happen to notice, that really these are the tabs that show down here on the left-hand side, right underneath the profile image.
Okay.
And if we go back, let's see if we get back to mine. You'll see that these are actually called different tabs that are within this fan page.
Okay.
And when we very first came here, this is the one that came up by default with the free iframe templates.
Okay.
So within your fan page, you can set which one comes up first. When someone is not a fan yet, you can set which one it is that comes up by default.
So a business,
when somebody likes you,
a business would then drive traffic directly to its fan page rather than to the personal page. Is that correct?
Actually, you can, yes. Mm-hmm. What you would give out is for your link then instead would not be your personal link, but you would actually give out the one that would just be for your fan page.
Okay.
In your case, when you reach, you have to have at least 25 people who have liked your fan page. Once you do that, you can get what is called a URL, a vanity URL within Facebook. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's probably a little bit small on the screen, but there's a lot of app numbers that kind of come up here after the fact.
Right.
And that's just like a temporary URL that Facebook will assign to it. But what we were able to do as soon as Willie hit 25 fans was we could assign him a vanity URL, which in his case is facebook.com/Willie Crawford Marketing Tips, which is a great way for him also when people are searching on Facebook, they can find him much easier. That part comes up. And then what you can do is you can actually use that as your initial link that you give out to people, so that when they visit you on Facebook, they'll actually go to your fan page first.
Okay.
So it's just a difference as far as on that part of it. And then of course they can always visit you on the personal one or even on different pages that you might have set up. But you can give them a direct link, which makes it really nice for that part of that.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, well, let's get back to the PowerPoint here. Does anybody have any questions on that, or is there anything?
I'm not seeing any questions.
That has kind of come up on that. Well, I know we may have covered quite a bit as we're going through here, but it's really just kind of understanding the basics of how you can really use Facebook for your business. That's pretty much what we've covered here. We went through. I showed you how easy it is that you can really create a basic, simple fan page really in just a few minutes.
We did have one question about the number of fan pages you can have. Can you have an unlimited number of fan pages?
As far as I know, it's unlimited. Yeah, I've never heard of any number that you're limited to having.
Okay, that's the only one I noticed. I'm still getting used to the setup myself.
Yeah, I'm not aware that there are, and I could be wrong, but I've never heard there's any limitations on how many fan pages that you can have.
Okay.
Which is great. It really kind of gives you a lot of real estate that you can work with.
Well, I'm thinking you could be involved in several different things, and so you might want one, for some club you're in, and then one for your business, and maybe you have several different businesses even. Maybe you'd want a different fan page for each. That's what I was thinking there.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. You know, and like I said, you can have it for separate products and separate services. So if you offer, you know, many different things, you know, obviously, you know, I mean, really, there's a lot of different things that you offer. And you could actually, if you wanted to, you know, have a separate fan page for each of your services, so that you could really target the people that are coming there. So yeah, there's a lot of good possibilities with that.
Okay, good.
It lets you really, you know, kind of micro niche down on the people that you have that are visiting those certain pages.
And so another person was asking about if you use a pen name or a niche site, you know, is there let's see, is there a way to be anonymous with the fan page? And I wouldn't think you could.
I guess if you were to use an anonymous, maybe you possibly could. I know that really isn't necessarily their intent. I know that they would have it, you know, as far as for the personal. You can switch your. There's a couple of things that you can do with your personal account. If you do sign up, you know, like maybe another one with a different address and different things that are on there. But it's something that's not very highly used, and you can set them up sometimes if they really are just administrator accounts.
Okay.
That people don't really, you know, try to become friends of you as a person. There's a few different things that you can do out there, although I don't think it's fairly widely used.
Yeah, I'm reading
it's somebody.
Really, somebody was saying you could be anonymous if you don't feature the admin or put your name in the info tab.
Well, I guess you could, although I know there's certain things that, you know, they really do try and keep it as clean as far as the data that's really out there. I know it's required to have most of those fields filled in, so I would imagine there's probably certain things that you might be able to do with that. As far as setting up your fan pages, I know there's certain things that when you go through on that, you actually set up a Facebook application that lets you pull in the page from your website.
Okay.
And they want to verify as far as who you are so that they know that, you know, the company or whatever it is that you're representing, and they actually do a verification on, you know, either a mobile phone or, you know, some type of verification that they can have on that. So I'm sure that, you know, if someone wanted to be really inventive, there's probably ways around certain things. You know, but I know what they try to do is really keep the data as clean as they can so that they know that, you know, the people who are on there are, you know, are who they say they are.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I know even like Google, if you know, using Google Maps, they'll call the business to verify the information before they list you. So I can see Facebook doing the same thing to have a verified database for people that, you know, want to know they're dealing with real businesses.
Yep. Yep. And I suppose really if you're, you know, trying to promote your business, there's a certain maybe level of anonymity that you might want. But then again, I would think that you would want it, you know, to be that, you know, somebody would really be recognizing your business and seeing it as, you know, something that's reputable that's out there. So it probably all works hand in hand, I would think.
Yeah, I guess one person was asking about using a pen name. I guess I could see using a pen name if you're building that name, but I'd probably go as far as to create an entirely new persona on Facebook if I were going to use a pen name rather than trying to, you know, tack it onto my regular personal page.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That would probably be maybe something, yeah, something that would be a little bit more off kilter than what most people might be looking to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so really, so as far as with, you know, your business, really, you know, what we're looking to do is really to use Facebook to be something that would really benefit your business and really help you bring in, you know, more leads, more clients, and more sales. So you really want to emphasize your brand. You know, you can make use of the reveal pages so that, you know, people have a little bit more enticement to go ahead and like your page, to become a fan, so that they can get more information from you and see what it is that's there. And it's really another great way to be able to build up some more contacts. And you know, not only do you have people as the contacts on your fan page, but you can also get them to, you know, join your regular mailing list too, so that you really have a chance on really building up your list in a few different directions. So the customization that you can do with the fan pages can really be very powerful for a small business.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked at Facebook and I looked at the fact that I did in fact have 5,000 friends, and a lot of them are ideal potential clients. Then my question did become, how do I get some of these people off Facebook and subscribe to my newsletter so that I could let them know more about the products and services I have? And so I was, you know, very pleased when you showed me what you've been working on, where I could build that contact form right into to Facebook fairly easily, using the iframe.
Yeah, it gives you a chance kind of to segregate some of that too. When you have that many people out there, it gives you a chance really to get a better idea of what their interests are, of what it is that you offer. Especially in your case, you have so many things that you're really involved with and so many people that follow you that it really gives you a chance to be able to break that down a little bit and see a little bit more about what each of their interests are so that, you can get a good idea on the types of things to kind of help them out with.
Yeah, like one of the things I do actually is I have a cookbook, and so it makes perfect, and have a recipe or cooking site, so it makes perfect sense actually to have a fan page or a tab that leads to a fan page on cooking, Southern recipes, because people who know me know about the cookbook anyway, so it makes perfect sense.
Sure, yeah, that would be a great idea for it. Yeah, you bet. That would be a great way to be able to, have all those people over in the one area for you.
Right.
And they can, of course, also still be on your personal page, but, you can also have them over there so that you know that, that's one of the specific things that they really do like, that they will want to get more information from you.
Yeah, I think one of the things that that internet marketers, which is what I call myself at times too, is because they are in several different niches, they wonder, well, which one do I need to brand myself with on my Facebook profile? And what we're really saying is you do need to pick something and brand yourself for it. But with fan pages, since you can have more than one fan page, you could actually brand yourself for more than one thing.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, and that way you're really hitting a lot more areas that you're already involved in, and being able to bring more. Actually, have your own little sub communities under there.
Right, right, and people would be able to find exactly what they're looking for rather than having to sift through, a lot of posts on your main page that pertain to a dozen different topics.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of great possibilities with it. I think any business really, regardless of what it is that we're really looking to do, I think that there's a lot of opportunities and a way really to kind of break it down and really help you understand that the types of things that people are most interested in your business, and get the word out there a little bit more to people that might not have realized that you have these different things to offer.
Right, right.
So that is great. So yeah, so that's really, that's what I'm hoping here. One of the things that I was hoping to be the goal is really to help you understand, how Facebook can really help you focus in on your business goals in a way that you can really use it to help you bring in, more leads, more clients, more sales. So that's what I'm hoping that we kind of showed you a little bit on, as far as how, Facebook can be something that doesn't have to be too much of a runaway train, that you can really kind of focus in and use it in specific ways to really help you grow your business.
Yes, that's exactly what it did. I mean, it cleared up a lot of things for me because when you first look at that main page, it just looks so cluttered, and you do wonder, where do I go to get things, to set up little side communities, if you will, and so you've cleared that up beautifully.
Great, okay. Well, then the next thing we can kind of lead into here, the two things that Willie and I have really talked about with the free templates that had been given away with that. I actually have a training that I have coming up on that starts on Wednesday, on April 27th. And it's a 4-week training. It'll go through those templates that you received and actually give you step-by-step and help you walk through on how you can modify those and how you can customize them, just like we did for Will's page and for the pages that I have out there and for the clients. Actually walk you through exactly how it is that I go through and do that. And then that way, if you could modify it. The template has all of the original PSDs, the actual original source Photoshop files, so that you can use those as a guide, and you can modify the graphics for whatever use it is that you may have. Another thing that I'm going to talk about is that you can actually use those fan pages, and you can build them into WordPress. I know a lot of small businesses use WordPress for their websites, and it's a great tool to be able to pull that information into there, and it makes it much easier to go through and either make changes or to go ahead and replicate those and create multiple fan pages for your different products and services and the things that you might want to do. I definitely talk about that. Anything that can really kind of make it easier for for a business owner to be able to go through and do that. Throughout the 4 weeks, I'm going to have Q&A sessions where we'll actually have live webinars, similar to this, where we can have questions and answers, and we'll go through it. There's different bonuses, and I'll talk some about Facebook ads also, and there's just some quite a few different things that I'll kind of go through, and there's even a section in there for people that might be interested in doing the same kind of service and maybe talking to other businesses about maybe trying to create fan pages for them. I'm actually going to have a section in there just for the someone that might be interested in that, where I can kind of help them understand on how you can market this to, maybe offline clients or that kind of thing. So there's really a lot of things that I'll kind of cover in that. Like I said, it starts next Wednesday. Typically, I've been charging $179 for that, but for special webinars for this one for Willie, the cost for that is $127. For anyone that would want to get in, you can see the link that's down here where it's wisefacebookprofits.com/Willie. The other thing that we have is a second option here, and I know this was something that Willie felt was important because it was something that worked out really well for him, is that it really offer a full done-for-you solution where we actually will get with you, I'll talk with you over the phone, and actually build your custom fan page for you. It'll be branded. We'll use the similar type of template layout, but just as we did with Willie's page, I'll actually go through and brand it so that it looks just like your website, or has the same look and feel and has all of that done for you. And this also includes the 4-week workshop. So not only will we go through and I'll build you your own page, but it also gives you the membership into the 4-week workshop. And what that'll also let you do is that you'll have your page, and then as you go through the workshop, you could create your own multiple pages after that. Now that you've already got one done, I've already done the hard work as far as getting all the graphics done for you and getting everything set up. And you could also learn, or you could even have maybe somebody that either works for you, or maybe a subcontractor or somebody that works on that could actually go through the training. And they could use the same thing, and they could kind of replicate it over and over for you. And we also talked about having a special bonus where I know Willie mentioned it at the very beginning, where I did an interview with him where he shared his soft selling techniques as far as not being very pushy to sales. And I know a lot of times small businesses aren't really big on selling, so that was a great recording that I did with Willie. It's really an exclusive 60 minutes that he did where he really shares his soft selling techniques, and he's such a great salesman in that way, and that was something that was really, there's a lot of great content in that, so we're really going to throw that in here for the same thing. So as far as the done for you, you can actually get your custom fan page done. You can have the 4-week workshop if you want to go through all of the training, and then you also get this great interview with Willie on the soft sell your way to success strategies. So it's really a complete done-for-you solution. If you take each of those three separately, it's a $605 value, and you can actually get it for $299, and that's available until the end of the month. So there's really two things that are there. They're a little bit different solutions if it's something that you happen to be looking for. You have the free templates. If it was something that you wanted to go ahead and try, then that's great. You can use some of the information that we talked about here today. If you're looking to grow a little bit more with it, if you're looking to learn a little bit more, then there's two different strategies here that, hopefully that can help you do that.
And I like both packages. I know that I'm very active in my local Chamber of Commerce, and I'm also in the local Glacier Kennedy group. And so I meet with all these local business owners who they've all heard that they need to be on Facebook, and they all are very interested in social media, and yet they're busy running their own businesses, so they don't feel like learning how to do all these things. And so it's actually a nice sideline business for someone to learn how to create fan pages for local businesses. It makes the workshop perfect for someone to do that. But then I'm not a graphics person, so that's why I'd rather have Betty do it for me, because you wouldn't want to see my graphics and a lot of those little things. And it's a time factor, too. I mean, if you can hire someone who's a professional who's done it over and over again, to me it just made sense to have Betty set it all up and tell me it's ready, and then I just went in and marveled at it.
Yeah, and in that case, of course, the whole, the done-for-you solution is right there, and it really, it's a great value. There's really a lot that you get for that.
Absolutely. And I'm looking to see if we have any more questions. I'm not noticing any new ones.
Okay.
But I do appreciate the fact that we've demystified how to set up the fan pages, where to go to get them set up, and again we opened with people can get those two free. Well, they did get those two free templates when they registered for the webinar itself, and so they're encouraged to play with those. But you've got a 4-week training webinar series where you're going to answer their questions and step them through the process of actually creating their own fan pages. And after they've done that first one with you, they really can do as many as they want, feeling very comfortable with it because they'll have the whole process down. So it's very worthwhile to go through the training. And as you mentioned, if the person is a busy business owner, maybe they want to send one of their employees through it. I think it's a good thing to have somebody on your staff that knows how to do this type of stuff.
Yeah, I have someone that works with in a accounting business, and that's what he's pretty much done. He has somebody that works within his business, and we went ahead and did the web fan page for them, and then they're going to go through the training, and they're going to try and set up a few different things for different financial management and different things that they have. So, and then there's always the Q&As that come up with that, and of course there's support that comes along with it. So it kind of gives you somebody that can kind of help hold your hand and kind of walk through that a little bit, and you're not really just out there kind of trying it on your own.
Now, the trainings start Wednesday of next week at 3 p.m. Eastern, and it's every Wednesday for 4 weeks?
Right. Yeah, and actually I'm trying to see on the content. It may actually go into a 5th week. I'm trying to fit everything into there, but trying to stretch it out so that people have enough time really to kind of go through and digest what's in there. And I know 3 o'clock may not be the most ideal time for everybody. We're trying to hit times that kind of work. And, of course, everything will be recorded and it'll all be available so that, if you don't happen to be able to make it, each of those times or, if there's something that kind of keeps you away one of those weeks, all the recordings will be available for replay, so you certainly won't miss anything.
And even if you just want to go back and review a lesson that you'd already gone through, you can still use the recordings to do that too.
Right. Yep. It'll be right there. So it's certainly something you can kind of go back and refresh. Yeah.
Okay. And again, I'm not seeing any questions. So why don't we give them that URL again, which is wisefacebookprofits.com/Willie. That's wisefacebookprofits.com/Willie. Go there and get signed up for Betty's class, which again starts on Wednesday the 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's daylight savings time. I do know that some people overseas don't adjust their clocks with daylight savings time, so they'll have to figure out what time it is. But again, the recordings, the sessions are also recorded, and it's good training. It's worthwhile, and it'll make your time spent on Facebook so much more productive because you'll have a fan page that's working for you, and you won't feel guilty hanging out, chit-chatting on Facebook. You can ask your friends to like your fan page, and when they go over to like it, if you've used that reveal thing, they've got to click on the link to like it, and that's going to push you up in the score, make you look more popular, and at the same time they'll then be asked to join your list or whatever you choose to ask them to do. I mean, you could ask them to download some product or vote for something or whatever. You can use that page for a lot of things depending on, again, the goals of your business and why you're on Facebook. But I know a lot of business owners spend a lot of time on Facebook and feel like they're wasting their time, like they don't know how to harness the power of Facebook. So we've just shown you how to do that, and so now if you're not doing it, it's not our fault, it's your fault. So go ahead and get a fan page or 2 or 3 set up and start using them. Start getting in front of those 600 million people on Facebook, a lot of them whom are your ideal customers, and start getting them over to your business, as clients and customers and subscribers. And you can't do that unless you let them know what your business is, what you do. And so you do need a fan page to showcase that and to brand yourself.
Yep, that's absolutely right. And I know that, like I said, hopefully we've kind of helped clear some of that up. And any questions that anybody might have, or I'm sure Willie's available, and certainly I am. And if you can head on over there and go ahead and sign up with the training. There'll be just a lot of extra things and a lot of things that'll be available for you. So.
Excellent, excellent. And I do see that we're out of time, so I guess I should go ahead and thank you, Betty, for taking time out of your evening. It's later there where you're at than it is for me. And I also want to thank all of the listeners for coming by and joining us. And please, tell your friends what great training we had. And we look forward to working with you.
Oh, you're quite welcome, Willie. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Yes, thank you to everybody that was on the call. It's been a lot of fun. It's always great to kind of share that. I'm a little bit passionate about it, so it's always great when I get a chance to kind of share all that information with people.
Excellent. Thank you, Betty.